everybody out there. Welcome back to Sadie's Kitchen. We are going to cook something very light today and something that I know you will all love. We love fish in our home and we eat it different kinds of ways. We eat it baked, we eat it fried, we eat it broiled. We just love fish and all kinds of fish. So today I have a little surprise for you, and it was a surprise for me too. A few years ago, I went to my goddaughter's birthday party in New York, and we went to a restaurant, and I had this fish dish. It was so good, and I decided I can do this. I know I can do this. And so I remember at the party, I was writing down everything that was in the dish, and I have everything here today that was in the dish, and I confirmed it with the chef at that particular restaurant. So we're going to try to make it today. This dish was a dish that has a very fancy French name to it, but it also was a dish that I used to make back in 4-H Club. We made it with ground beef and carrots and potatoes and baked it in foil on the grill. But today we're going to use fish. You can use any kind of meat that you want to, bake it in foil. But because this particular dish is steamed in parchment paper, this fish dish has a fancy name, and it's called fish en papillote. That's a French name for it, but we are going to call it just a fish pocket today, because you are going to learn how to fold this fish, put these ingredients together, and we're going to steam it in the oven, and it is so delicious. This is probably my 4th or 5th time making it. It's low calorie, very low calorie, except for the butter we may be putting on it, but everything else that we're putting in here is probably 0 and low calories. You can use any type of fish you want to. Today we're going to use cod. I have used catfish. I've used salmon, and I think what they used in the restaurant was sea bass, but it's really kind of hard to find sea bass here in my town. So we're going to use cod today. We're going to season that up really good. But there's one ingredient in this fish pocket that I was not really used to, and it's called fennel. And fennel looks like this when you buy it, but it has a longer stem on it. And so it was cut off when I purchased it. These are called fawns on here, and we're not going to use these. Well, we are going to use these in our dish to top it off. But what I want to do as your idea for today is to show you how you slice and cut up a fennel, because this was pretty new to me when I first did it. And then when I smelled it, I thought, I don't want my fish tasting like licorice. It smells like licorice, but when you cook it, it's sweet, and then it tastes kind of like a maybe a potato, if there's a cross between a potato and maybe celery. But it's really, really good. So I'm going to show you how to cut it up before we get started. Now, but what we're going to do is cut it down the middle. As you can see, it looks like an onion, but it's not really an onion, and smells just like licorice. But do not be afraid of it, because it is truly, truly delicious. All right, what we're going to do, it has a core in it, kind of like a cabbage, and we're going to cut that out. I already washed this one. You got to be really careful with it. Make sure it's clean, because dirt can be hidden inside of it. So we're going to just take, I think I'm going to need all of this. So we're going to cut it open this way. Take it, then we're gonna cut real thin slices, just like this. This really smells good if you like licorice. I don't really care a whole lot for licorice candy, but I'm going to make sure these are cut into nice strips. And as thin as you can get it. We're not going to use all of this. So, as you can see, it's like little pieces like onions in it. But we are going to use those pieces. Our next step to this is going to go by really fast. This looks like a lot of ingredients, y'all, but it's not really that complicated. The oven is heating up because we're going to move pretty fast. I have these seasonings over here, some Mrs. Cavender's smoked paprika, lemon pepper, garlic, and then I have some herbs de Provence and some salt. These are the ingredients that I used, and I just put them over here so you would see them. But I've already mixed them all up in here together so we can save time. I do that a lot so that we have to take all of those out all the time. Now, we are going to season our fish. You can see exactly what we're doing. I'm going to use my hand on top of here to make sure we're getting seasoning all over this. You want to season cod pretty heavily because it doesn't really have a whole lot of oil in it. It's very flaky too. And once we get this seasoned, we'll start to put our packet together. Will not take this long to cook, maybe 30-35 minutes. The other thing I wanted to share with you, I have these pool pans that came from Walmart. I keep a stack of them, like for barbecuing and seasoning. They are very, very cheap. These pans right here were $2. You cannot beat this. And I use them for multiple things. So today we're going to put our fish packets on them and bake them. All right. So the first thing I need you to know how to do is how to cut your parchment paper so that your fish will fit on it. As you can see, I have about maybe 14 inches of parchment paper here. And you all been to elementary school. All I need you to do is to cut a heart out. This is how, just cut a heart out. Won't take you long to do that. There you go. And that's your pattern. That's what you're going to use to put your fish on. So let's get started. Set this up like kind of a buffet with your family and let them, you know, cook, pick out their own ingredients that they want to put on here. You can do that. But today we're going to put just a little bit of everything on it. I'm going to show you how to make a couple of them. So we're going to start out in front of me this way. You want to put your fish kind of on the upper side of it in front of you, not in the middle, because you're going to have to take this and fold it over. And then I'll show you how to fold it in. So we're going to start off, not with our fish, we're going to start off with some potatoes right here. And these potatoes are thinned. As you can see, they're very, very thin, very thin. You can see through them. You can put however many you want on here. If you like a lot of potatoes, put a lot of potatoes. Next, we're going to put some onion. Okay, and a little bit of carrots. I love carrots. You want shredded carrots. Just buy them from the store. Don't worry about wasting a lot of time. Then I like a lot of spinach. So we're gonna put spinach on it. And some tomatoes. Yes, I love tomatoes too. Now we're going to put a few red peppers. You put as many on it as you would like. And now we're going to put some of that fennel on it. You might have heard me say licorice, but this fennel is so good baked, and it's not going to taste like licorice. It's not even going to smell like it. So what we're going to do now is take a piece of our fish and we're going to put it on top. Then we're going to put maybe a couple of lemon slices. Well, I'm going to hold off on the lemon slices, and we're going to put, let me do this. We're going to put our butter up under here. I cut this butter in cubes and put it in the refrigerator last night so I could handle it better. You can just spread it on top of that fish if you want to. What I would do at this point too, because those vegetables need just a little bit of seasoning on them, just put a little bit on those vegetables. Now put your fish on top. Put maybe a few pieces of butter on the top. Now, we're going to fold it. Pull it over this way. And let's turn it around. And you kind of have to use your hands to make sure it's fitting up in there. And if it's over too far, just play with it. You cannot mess it up. Trust me, you cannot mess it up. Push it back just a little. You want, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fold this first piece, just fold it down, and you're just gonna keep twisting and folding. Keep twisting and fold. Twist and fold. Got plenty of paper left over here. Twist and fold. Twist and fold. Twist and fold. Parchment paper is very, very forgiving. Push that in there, push and fold. Make sure everything's tucked in there really good. Sometimes when you get on the end down here, you gotta, I know that's a little noisy, but I hope you can hear me. Twist and, now, when you get to the end right here, you can just pull that up under and twist it. I'm gonna do one more. Get your little pan, like I was sharing. Put these on it. And then you get it in the oven. We're gonna do one more, just so you can see how we did that. All right, we'll start over again with our potatoes first. And our onion, a few pieces. A few carrots. A little bit of spinach. Okay, and a few tomatoes. And a few bell peppers. Put a little bit of seasoning on those vegetables. Then we're gonna put some fennel on it. And I forgot to put one thing on it a few minutes ago. Put a little bit of butter. This one will make sure we get it right. because I forgot to put the capers on. Make sure you put your capers on. Capers give you that little salty taste. All right, more fish. Put your fish on. Forget them again too. Feel the capers. Okay. Lemon. And this is the fun that was on top of that I cut off the top of our fennel. So I'm just gonna put a few pieces on the top. And that's it. I think we got everything on this one, y'all. All right. If you don't have it situated right, you can push it over with your hand. There you go. So I made another one. Come down and look at this. It looks so delicious. I mean, you can see the red and the greens. You know, we kind of eat with our eyes, and you can see all the color here. The yellow, the capers, the potatoes, onions, fennel, spinach. Yum, 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 yum. Yes, that looks so good. I love this puppy up. And we're gonna get it in the oven too. We have two of these. And I turn them this way toward each other. Don't need to put a hole or anything in them. They are ready to go in the oven. Won't take them long. Like I said, you can have all of this out and let your family decide what they want on their fish packet, and then they can fix it. So these are going in the oven, and we're going to make some more and put those in the oven with them, and then we'll come back and taste them. As you can see, I did a little cleaning up, and our fish papillotes, our fish packets, they're called papillotes. They are in the oven cooking, and they are smelling so good. But I wanted to share a few things with you, but while I'm sharing with you, I want you to make sure, if you have not already subscribed to Sadie's Kitchen, please do so. Subscribe to Sadie's Kitchen. And if you like this video, hit like, give me a thumbs up. I like thumbs up and I like comments. So give me some feedback. Talk to me. Tell me what you're thinking. And when you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell, because the bell tells you every time I upload something. I want to share something else with you while our papillotes are cooking. One of the things that I do is I make bone broth every year, and I put all of my scraps from vegetables inside a bag and put them in the freezer. These have onions, and I put that fennel in there. The leftover tomatoes, anything that was left over, cutting up onions. Just make sure you throw them in a bag, pop them in the freezer. And then when you got some chicken bones left and you want to make some bone broth, throw this in there with it. We'll make some this summer and can it, and I'll show you how to do it. The other thing I did with that fennel that I had left over, I cut it up, slice it up, we'll put it in the freezer, and then we'll have it for future fish packets or just for cooking any other recipes that call for fennel. But I will more than likely roast these in a skillet one day and just eat them like you would roasted potatoes. They're just that good. The other thing that I had some leftover potatoes, and so for my brunch on Easter morning, I'll use these potatoes in them. Just want to share these few tips, things that you can do while we're waiting on our fish to get ready. Alrighty guys, we're gonna open this papillote up and taste it, but I wanted to share this with you because anytime you can't get your paper folded right and it won't stay down, you can always use a stapler. That's your best friend in the kitchen too. All right, we're gonna cut this open and see what we got here. It is steaming hot, guys. Look at that. Oh, yum. Look. Look at that steam. Yes. And that fish. Wow. Try to get all of this out of the way. paper's kind of messy, but we'll fold it under that way so you can see. Look at that fish. Wow. Steaming hot. It is steaming hot, and I think it stayed in there just long enough. Flaky fish, guys. And onions are done. Potatoes are done. Yes, we are ready to taste a little piece of fish and some carrots. Oh, and there's the fennel. Let me get a little bit of everything in that. Look at that. Steaming hot, 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 hot. Yes. It is just right. I'm gonna try a piece of that potato. The main thing, you want to make sure your fish is done. It doesn't take cod long to cook. It will cook really, really fast. This is a great dish, especially if you're heart healthy and you're watching your heart. There's nothing in here that would be alarming except for a little tad bit of butter, and that's not going to hurt you. This is a fast dish. You're in a hurry, you're coming home in the evening, you got everything prepped before you leave. You guys can have fun with this dish with any kind of fish you want to. Like I said, I used cod today, but you can use catfish, salmon, you can even use shrimp. So this is a great dish. I love it. You have got to try this. So if you want to serve it with something, you might want to have a side salad. Right now, we're just going to eat it just like it is. So enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. I am going to get ready to eat. Yes, yes, yes. So as you can see, I had around 2 pounds of cod, and I have 6 meals here. It's enough to last my hubby and me for several days. So if you don't want to cook this many, back up on the pounds of cod or fish that you buy, and you can just buy enough to make 2 packets. But it was cheaper for me to buy the whole packet at Costco here, and so I don't really like cod left over for a long time, so I went on and cooked the packets up, and we'll be eating for a few days, and I won't have to cook.